I made a video about Yandere Dev a long time ago, back when he was threatening the makers of another game that was very similar to his, and they were making their game at a much faster pace than him. That project eventually had its own drama, and it seems like the people involved with that are also garbage. But after that, I really stopped paying attention to this guy because honestly, outside of Yandere Simulator just being a game stuck in eternal development hell, and the memes around the Discord banned speedrun RTA thing, he really wasn't all that interesting. For those that somehow don't know, Yandere Simulator is a game where you play a high school girl trying to get rid of other girls that are pursuing the guy she's interested in. Pretty standard for yanderes. They're known for being extremely obsessive to the point of it being harmful and dangerous to both the person they're obsessed with and anyone that interacts with them. So that's pretty on brand. The game blew up years ago as a lot of Let's Play YouTubers were playing it back in the day and just goofing off and having fun with it. But over time, as the game continued to balloon and people realized just how unoptimized the game is as a whole, and other controversies arose because there were some stolen assets in the game and other things that were just not right with the game. And then people started finding stuff about the developer and his character. There was a point where people dedicated large portions of their channel just to mocking Yandere Dev and highlighting all the stuff he's done. But after a while, people just stopped caring. However, 2023 is full of surprises. You see, a few weeks ago, Yandere Dev was exposed for having inappropriate conversations with a minor. Yeah, it's another one of these, and yes, I know I'm late on covering this one, because I was waiting for the dust to settle and see if any other things were going to come out, but it seems like this situation is over now. But let's get into it. On September 24th, 2023, a YouTuber uploaded a video bringing light to inappropriate conversations Yandere Dev was allegedly having with someone he knew was underage. This video was made by a content creator called ALLYMCC. Unfortunately, the original video was taken down because someone filed a copyright claim on it. The claim was under the alleged grooming victim's real name, hence why it's blurred out in the tweet on the screen. I'm saying alleged because from some other content creators that I've seen covering this and other topics like this, they say that YouTube gets really, shall we say, irritated. They get a little mad if you don't say alleged or something, and I'm just covering my bases. But back to the tweet, I'm just going to read it aloud in case someone's just listening and not paying attention to the screen.
The Yandere Dev video with evidence of him allegedly grooming a minor has been taken down for copyright under the victim's real name. Though I have strong reason to believe this wasn't actually her doing. Figuring out options right now.
Now, before the original was taken down, I did manage to see part of it, and I've also seen an archive copy. And to the person who archived it on archive.org, we salute you, sir or ma'am. Not all heroes wear capes. The video contains several recorded calls allegedly between Yandere Dev and the alleged 16-year-old victim. Take a shot every time I say alleged or allegedly. Actually don't, you will die. You will actually die. But in addition to the calls, there were recordings of Snapchat conversations between an account that allegedly belonged to Alex or Yandere Dev. I'm probably going to interchange the two here. But the account was named Cosplay Fan, and this was a conversation between this account that supposedly is Alex and also the minor. Now, I'm not going to show the entire thing, but I will post a few screenshots. The logic, if we can call it that, but the whole 17 is 94.4% of 18 thing, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And just to remind you, Alex is 35 years old. They're not even close in age. It only gets worse. There's parts in here where he tries to guilt trip the minor into not going through with the video exposing all of this. Several parts during the Snapchat conversations, the alleged minor states that they are in fact underage. So, assuming this is Yandere Dev, he's fully aware of this person's age and is still continuing to talk to them. And during the course of the recordings, he convinces her to try and stop the video from going out. She then tries to convince Ally, the person who made the original video, to not go through with it. I'm going to read out this part because it just shows just how manipulative this Cosplay Fan account is.
You are the one traumatizing me. I'm sorry. This This here is trauma. This is abuse. This is power imbalance, and I'm being emotionally abused by you. I'm 16. You have this massive blackmail over me. You're 35.
It gets worse, unfortunately. He even tries to coerce the alleged victim to say they lied and use an AI to impersonate Yandere Dev's voice to try and make this evidence seem fake. I only found a screenshot in a Rev Says Deaths video, so that's why there's anime hair in the corner, in case you're wondering.
I'm going to delete Snapchat now. There is something I want to ask you to do, but I know you probably won't do it. Please say, I lied, none of it was real. I asked my friend to use a Yandere Dev AI voice changer. That is not actually his voice. Please don't actually release any video. The evidence is all fake.
Real piece of work, what can I say? Fortunately, Ally didn't listen to the alleged victim and published the video anyway. Although I think they admitted that they did omit some parts that the alleged victim did not want in the video. And as you can imagine, something like this did rounds around the internet until it was taken down. But of course, once something is on the internet, it's never really gone. The alleged victim has tried to damage control Yandere Dev, and I'm gonna link to a re-upload of Ally's full video in case you haven't seen it yet. Now let's see how Yandere Dev actually responded to the situation. Before we get into his response, or should I say responses, I want to cover some aspects of the backlash to the allegations. You see, on September 25th, the VA for the main character, who is also the voice director for the game, published a tweet saying they are done and no longer involved with the project. A day later, another VA that voiced a character named Tsuruzo Yamazaki, I'm not sure which character this was in the game, said he was removing that character from his resume and would never reprise the role over the situation, and I can't say I blame him. Also on the 25th, Yandere Dev posted an apology over the situation. The full apology is just shy of 1.5k words, so I will only be reading some excerpts from it. The full thing will be linked in the description if you want to check out his full statement.
A few months back, a fan of the game DM'd me and wanted to chat. I normally just turn fans away and tell them I'm busy. But in this case, the fan seemed really funny and interesting, so I agreed to talk. After around 2 months, I agreed to do a voice chat with her. Right off the bat, she let me know that she was 16. At the time, I didn't even perceive this as a problem. What do I care what her age is? She's just a funny fan of the game who wants to talk to me. This is no big deal. I rationalized to myself that it was fine. This was a massive mistake number one, more to follow.
Okay, I gotta stop for a second, bro. That ain't a mistake. That's I don't know what we classify this as, but this is worse than a mistake. Like borderline criminal behavior, if not actually criminal. But let's keep going.
We talked for a while, and eventually I started to feel really comfortable speaking to her. I started talking to her the same way I would speak to any of my other friends, like she was one of the guys. I made the same type of vulgar jokes that I make when voice chatting with my other friends. This was an absolutely unacceptable mistake.
Yeah, that's an understatement of the fucking century.
No grown-up should ever use adult language or make adult jokes in the presence of a minor. Just because I felt really comfortable speaking to her, that doesn't make it okay. That's no excuse, not in the slightest. Occasionally she would say something flirty towards me. Most of the time I would shut that down immediately and refuse to reciprocate.
Bro, you should have just cut all contact the minute she started doing that, if that's really what happened.
However, there were times where I didn't shut it down and let her talk to me that way without stopping her. Obviously it goes without saying, hold on, it's all caps, this was absolutely not fucking okay. This was the point in time when I should have instantly disengaged and ended all contact with her. In any interaction between an adult and a minor, it's the adult's responsibility to put an immediate stop to any inappropriate behavior.
Okay, I actually agree with him here. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that.
There is absolutely no excuse for tolerating this as if it was okay. I didn't want to be a buzzkill, or I didn't want to ruin the vibes. Or we were just having lighthearted, jokey conversation. It didn't really feel like anything wrong was happening, or not acceptable excuses in the slightest.
From what I saw on that Snapchat, he was doing more than acting like she was one of the guys. I don't tell one of the guys that them showing off clothes and being undressed would be super erotic. Bit of a difference in my opinion, but he goes on to say this.
Her friend pressured her into providing the recordings to a drama YouTuber.
Side note, I noticed that anytime someone covers someone doing something heinous, the person being accused always has to try and like denigrate the people covering it as drama YouTubers, as if that somehow like diminishes the point they're making or what they're presenting to the public. But anyway, sorry, get off on tangent.
The recordings to a drama YouTuber who began producing a video about the situation. A preview of the video revealed that the intention of the video would be to characterize me as a predator/groomer by presenting clips of the conversation that sounded sexual. Obviously, it doesn't matter how the recordings were made public because the entire situation never should have been allowed to happen in the first place. I'm just explaining why such a video exists. Watching the recordings on the way I interacted with her has been mortifying for me. I keep thinking, I actually did that, and you goddamn idiot. Whenever I'm reminded of something inappropriate that I said in conversation with her, I'm not going to spend a million years belaboring this point, but I want you to know that I have been kicking myself non-stop since the situation happened. I feel disgusted and disappointed in myself on a level that I have never before felt on my entire life.
Thank you meant to say in my entire life, but fair enough. Yeah, I'm sure you're kicking yourself from this because, dude, your career is over, like online. Like, you're done. And I don't think anyone is jumping the gun for calling him a groomer over these Snapchat conversations because keep in mind, this is just what was recorded. We don't know what wasn't recorded or how bad the conversations might have been before the minor decided to record this. Just throwing that out there. But there's one last part I want to highlight here.
After the video went public, some of the game's volunteers started receiving harassment and abusive messages. Several of them have already contacted me to inform me that they can no longer be associated with me or my project and want me to remove their assets from the game. I get it. There is part of me that wants to profusely beg them to reconsider, but whatever they decide, I'm going to respect their wishes. It's one thing to make a stupid mistake that results in self-humiliation. Another to make a mistake that affects all the people who associate with me. However, it's a mistake on an entirely different level to make a mistake that involves an inappropriate interaction with a minor.
I know I said this earlier, but dog, this is beyond a mistake. We are in have a seat right over there territory.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Have a seat over in that chair, please. Good, please sit down.
You thought you were getting through this video without a Chris Hansen meme? Unfortunately, we're not done. You see, on October 1st, he made another post about this on his website. I'm only going to read part of it.
Moving forward, I have been exhibiting horribly self-destructive behavior on a regular basis for a long time now.
Yeah, I think that checks out. And I would qualify this as definitely self-destructive behavior. I'm no therapist, but just outsider looking at him.
As a result of the many conversations I've had over the past few days, I think I can pinpoint the cause. My downward spiral is the result of consistently making incredibly unwise lifestyle choices that have caused my mental health to deteriorate massively over time.
Yeah, okay. That's probably true. I think that's legit.
It didn't hit me until recently just how bad things had gotten. Haven't left the house since July 2019. No real life acquaintances, 16 plus hours on a computer every day. No vacations in half a decade. Prioritizing work above my physical health. It shouldn't be any surprise whatsoever that when you allow both your body and mind to completely waste away, you dissolve into a mistake machine. A person that's capable of nothing but bad decisions, who exists solely to cause problems for others.
If he's telling the truth about not leaving his house since July 2019 and having no real in-person friends and spending 16 plus hours on the computer every day and not taking a vacation in half a decade and just neglecting his physical health, yeah, that would mess you up mentally and physically. Doesn't excuse what he did, but yeah, you're not gonna be in the best headspace doing that.
Since the last blog post, a lot of people have reached out to me to share the same advice. See a therapist, get hobbies that don't involve computers or TV screen. Step away from game development for a few months. All that can be summarized as start making healthy life choices that will turn you into a more normal human being. And I honestly can't argue with that.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty sound advice. I can believe his mental health is atrocious, and I say this as someone who spends most of their time on a computer indoors and not around people a lot. So I don't want to say I empathize, but I can understand where he's coming from with that. But again, I'm going to reiterate, that does not excuse what he's done here. And I know I've said it before, but I'm saying again, this is worse than a mistake. But he goes on to say this.
A lot of people have been asking me if the recent controversy will cause me to stop developing the game, or to give their game away to another developer? I'm not ready to answer those questions. I would need to do a tremendous amount of thinking before I can make any monumental decisions like that. I really enjoy working on Yandere Simulator. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be willing to do it continuously for 9 years. The thought of taking time away from it makes me feel incredibly sad, but neglecting absolutely every aspect of my mental and physical health has caused me to devolve into a danger to myself and others, and it's not something I want to be. I don't want to step away from development, but perhaps I should, at least long enough to decide the best way to proceed from here. The project doesn't need to outright die, but it definitely should be paused until I've made significant progress towards evolving into a much healthier person.
Okay, I kind of disagree with this statement. I think this project needs to die at this point. It's been on life support for a while now, several years in fact, but now it's actually dead. You are several miles past the point of no return, or the point where this could be salvaged. Your brand is tarnished by the grooming allegations, and that is not something OxyClean can fix. That stain ain't coming out, man. Not even Mr. Clean can wipe that shit away. One last part.
Yandere Simulator's audience has shrunken over the years, but despite everything, there are still a lot of people in this world who love Yandere Simulator. They love the characters, the setting, and the story. They enjoy speculating about what will happen towards the end of the game, what occurred in unrevealed parts of the backstory, and what plot twists might be waiting in the lore. They want to learn how the Aishi condition began, what secrets the Psycho family is hiding, and what is underneath the cherry tree. I don't want to let them down. I owe it to them for giving me 9 years of their attention. I owe them answers. I owe them satisfaction. And I owe them closure. I don't want to cancel the game. I want to keep developing it, but I don't think I can do that if I keep being a mistake machine. I need to find a much better work-life balance, because the current balance of 100 to 0 has led to nothing but a severely damaged psyche and behavior that is as destructive to others as it is to myself. I can't guarantee when will be the next time that I'll write a blog post. I'm not even sure what the next blog post will be about. A big announcement, a bug fixing build, or something completely different. It's hard to tell what the future is going to hold, but I just wanted to let you know that I probably won't be posting as frequently as I previously was, or updating the game as frequently.
Can we even call that frequent? But whatever.
As I previously was, either. All the steps that I need to take to become a better person involve spending less time in the chair and more time outdoors. During my time away, I'll be spending a lot of time thinking about exactly how I should proceed from this point forward. I need more caffeine. I'll be considering all possible options, even the uncomfortable ones, such as reducing the scope of the game to make it into a project that would be much easier to finish with limited resources, and the absolute last resort of handing off development to someone else. For what it's worth, I apologize for everything, and I thank you for following the development of Yandere Simulator.
Okay, my opinion, and this isn't even me trying to be an asshole or trying to play up my opinion for the sake of comedy or, for the sake of the video. You need to get off the internet. Get a day job, and preferably one that requires you to be in an office or away from your computer. And get a therapist, and also if you can, get one that is in person that requires you to physically meet them so you're away from your computer. Because this just ain't working. Even if you wanted to hand off the project to someone else, even if you did do that, the taint will always follow it. Now, in another timeline where these allegations weren't a thing and you weren't doing shit like this, I would agree that reducing the scope of the game and maybe handing off something to someone else would be the best thing you could do. Hell, I even said as much in my old video on the subject, but because of what you've done now, it's dead. I know that's probably the most painful thing to do and hear, and I doubt anyone in the world that's been working on something creative for years wants to hear what I'm saying, that to just kill it off, Like, I write stuff and I can't imagine just stopping, after all the time I spent doing this stuff, but realistically, that's the only option here. Yandere Simulator is dead. Let it go, man. That's gonna be the end of this video. I don't really have much else to say here. I've heard some other questionable things about Yandere Dev in the past that did not paint him in a positive light, to say the least. So, as harsh as it sounds, I'm not surprised about something like this happening. One thing I will add is there are apparently some doctor screenshots going around that are pretending to be Yandere Dev. I've heard some others covering the situation mention that there are doctor screenshots going around, but I haven't seen which ones are fake. So that's why I only stuck with what was in Ally's video. Don't want to spread false information on this, especially when we're talking about grooming allegations. But will Alex continue making Yandere Simulator? Will he finally throw in a towel? I genuinely don't know. He probably should have stopped a few years ago, but who knows if he's gonna keep doing this shit. He might just say, fuck it, I'm gonna make it regardless for the however many people are still diehard supporters of the game, knowing what's been going on. Watch me be like 40 years old and find out he's still working on this game. Hell, at this rate, Star Citizen will be fully complete before he finishes it. But let me know what you guys think of the situation in the comments. That's where I'm gonna end today's episode, and thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, please consider leaving a like and commenting. It really does mean a lot. And consider checking out my books and stuff, and I'm gonna head out.